Ever since the release of Rockstar's first trailer for GTA 6 in December of 2023, fans have speculated on whether they'd need to invest in a different game platform to smoothly play the game's story at a reasonable performance for a reasonable price. Reports have been flooding our feeds telling us that we'd be lucky to hit a lock of 30 FPS. So will buying a PS5 be worth it? Hello, welcome to the channel. Topic is a bit of a strange one. If you're also invested in Grand Theft Auto as much as I am, you're probably watching just to get a straight answer on if you should bother with the $500+ investment. Perhaps even have to resort to a PS5 Pro, which sets us back like over $1,000 in my country. Now, I will say that a PS5 is specifically designed for quality gaming experiences, but would GTA 6 even hit 30 FPS on it? Keep in mind this game has been in development for over half a decade. It is also going to be one of the most in-depth gaming experiences that we've ever seen. So the question of if playing GTA 6 yourself isn't worth it is out of the question. Let's start by checking if you could run it on a possible PC that you already own. I'll bring up the specifications projected by Rockstar and a minimum and recommended. By all means, you can trust the minimum, and I am sure that a game like this will be optimized on a whole other level. However, wanting to get the full experience out of a GTA game is what people want. The official specifications for GTA 6 by Rockstar is a minimum AMD Ryzen 7. Yeah, that's fair enough. Windows 10 or 11. I'm surprised about that because October will bring the end of the support for Windows. 8GB of VRAM. I feel like that is manageable on most computer systems. GPU standard at 1080 Ti. Or AMD Radeon 5700. So you probably need a minimum of 8GB VRAM, which does make sense. And the storage, of course, is 155GB solid state drive. So it's really recommending that you do not use a hard drive for this, which I completely understand. Could you imagine? Recommended is a bit more interesting. Takes us to an i9 and or Ryzen 5. And then a recommended is having Windows 11, 32GB VRAM. Whoa. That's interesting. I've never actually seen a minimum memory that high. GPU recommended a 3080 at standard or 6800 XT. That's interesting. That's, if I'm correct, that's a minimum of 12GB. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. And of course, it's saying, 155GB NVMe SSD. So if you really want to hit that lock, you're going to need a M.2 drive, preferably. Now, of course, Rockstar wouldn't make a game incapable of being played on consoles, as it would obviously choke their sales. However, an interesting concept to address is which console would be better fitted for it, and would upgrading to a PS5 Pro be worth it? Quickly taking the bare results, Rockstar tells us that a 1080 would be able to run the game at minimum. Obviously, you can listen to them and stay with a likely already obtained PC, but will you have the full experience of the most anticipated game to date? You see, I went overboard with my PC. I should also bring to attention the fact that a gap between console and PC release is almost guaranteed, as it was with the previous Grand Theft Autos. Now, if you're willing to hold back and just try and avoid spoilers, be my guest. However, like what I expect to be most of you, I always get spoilers without fail. If you're one of these people, you're in the console market, and whether you already have one or are now in need of one, you're going to either way be taking a massive punch to your bank account. The PS5 to this day is a very powerful console. It's capable of running Cyberpunk 2077 somewhat impressively. However, the PS5 Pro has a 45% more powerful GPU than the predecessor. Now, many leaks and announcements shows that if you're looking for visual aspect improvements, and if graphics really means that much to you, then get yourself a PS5 Pro. However, it is much easier said than done. As I've previously said, the PS5 Pro is an outrageously pricey console, and I feel it is hard to justify spending that much money on a console. I'll leave the debate for yourselves. However, I will give the straight answer that yes, GTA 6 will run on a PS5, and it will do so at 30 FPS. To help you compare, we watched films at 24 FPS, so unless you played a lot of CSGO, I trust the PS5 will do you a solid. Just keep in mind, your chances of meeting a PS6 in the next 2 years is, well, high. So I'd probably suggest considering that possibly sticking with a PS5 if you have one. If not, only go for something that you can comfortably afford that will deliver it to you at an acceptable level. Side note, second-hand consoles exist. You can use them. Just ask your buyer to play it in front of you to make sure it's alright and get a second-hand PS5. There's no shame in getting a second-hand PS5. That's all for today. I don't really have outro stuff, so you can just hear me talk more. Like and subscribe. Just a final note. PlayStation is currently working on an AI upscaling, which will probably be crap, but I mean, it might help you get to 60 FPS that everyone keeps demanding. Anyway, enjoy yourselves. Make sure you tune in for more. Goodbye.